Okay, guys, let me just actually hold on. I was gonna put music on, but I've been getting some copyright stuff lately. Do I want? That one. Do that. Okay, so what we're gonna read today, Happy Fall Equinox. It's been kind of crazy in the cosmos. I apologize for not doing one of these comic book reads sooner. I actually haven't hosted a Supergirl in a little while, and so this version of Supergirl is a special one to me because I'm Supergirl from 1985, hence the headband, right? You know the Rambo scene where it's like, I mean business, and all the good guys wear the red headbands, right? So it's a rule from the 80s. But what we're going to read today is something a little interesting. I'm going to tell you a little story about how I came upon this comic book. One of you guys, let me just say hi to everybody. Hi, Taz, Gingy, 17, uh, Dale Dog 905, Faye Z, that's a cool name. Samurai Ninja, I saw you enter the chat. Oh, Jack J, thank you for following. So I'm just gonna get right into it because I can't be on very late tonight because I still have to get my book published. I had a launch party on Saturday, which was a lot of fun, but I still have to push go officially. So I'm going to tell you also something quick that happened in the cosmos over the weekend. Oh, thanks, Taz. Thanks for the follow, you guys. Very sweet. So I'm Supergirl 1985. To explain myself a little bit, Supergirl in 1985, she basically sacrificed herself to save the multiverse in on Infinite Earths. You can watch actually an animated version of that story that came out quite recently. I think Jensen Ackles, who is part of the Arrowverse, is one of the voice actors, and I think I've always loved him since like Passions. Do you guys remember him from Passions? I think he was Fox. I don't know if you guys remember that soap opera. Anyways, I was always that kind of person who loved the relationships in comic books, such as, anyways, I'm getting on a tangent. I want to show you guys the comic book I'm going to read you guys tonight. It is Justice League United. So one of my viewers, Alex, if you're here, please raise your hand. My French friend. It's funny too. I have a lot of friends who English is not their first language, and it's so funny. They'll always tell me, "Oh, Rachel, it's like I don't really understand English, but we like understand each other." I'm like, "Yeah, because like as long as you have hand movements and like yeah, and then like motioning and like pictures, like we can understand each other, right? Because communication is more than just simply the words that we speak. Also, like we do have different how should I put it, like a glossary of terms, a personal glossary of terms, and a lot of mine have been informed by the books I read, right? And comic books are real books, in my opinion. I took English literature when I was in university along with psychology, and I wrote an essay in defense of the romance novel, which I actually scored pretty well on. But I should write also another thesis on in defense of the comic book in terms of analysis and stuff, right? Because we could talk about the classics. I mean, I've read the Odyssey and the Iliad and Hercules' Labors, so all the classics, Plato's stuff, Odyssey, Aristotle, and all very good. I love the written word. I also love masters of the craft who are able to put words in a way together to tell a story that just grabs your imagination. And I have a lot of credit to a lot of the authors. So this book, I didn't even get to what Alex had asked me. Hello, Pokey. I hope you're well. Happy fall equinox, you guys. Fall equinox was yesterday, as well as we had a partial solar eclipse. And so, just like how, I don't know if this is a very good analogy, but if you like stub your toe and initially like you go into like shock at first, like it hurts, but it doesn't like really hurt until you're like, oh my gosh, what the fuck did I do? So that's kind of like the equinox, where you get like, it's that initial like shock of it, like in terms of like emotional, a lot of old stuff will come up and we're going to be called to let go of old things, right? And so, ooh, today was a heat wave. First day of fall. Yes, we're in Libra season officially. So themes of Virgo are now coming into themes of Libra. We're now in the second half of the chart, meaning, you know, we are past like just personal things and we're moving into being interpersonal, right? And so, well, what does that mean? The collective consciousness. And so I'm going to tell you a little story about divination in this book. So I have found, like, when it comes to my content, when I go live with you guys, like, some people get triggered by when I do things like tarot card readings or doing astrology or things like that, because I grew up Catholic, right? And I understand that. And I taught Sunday school and stuff like that. I know all the stories. I love Jesus. It's great. So he's a great hero archetype, right? However, people do get triggered when people don't have that openness to perspective of how other people view the world, right? I'm not asking other people to, how should I put it, worship or love the same things that I love. I'm just sharing what my intel with you guys from my perspective, right? You can choose not to listen to it. That is totally cool. I choose not to listen to lots of things all the time. There's so much stuff out there. So thanks you guys as well for joining me for this live. Thank you so much. This is my Supergirl 1985. I have the, I'm going to film a workout tomorrow for Warrior Class Wednesday because honestly, superheroes and comic books were why I worked out at the gym. I was like, you know what? If I create an avatar, if I build a body that's worthy of that energy signature, perhaps one day I'll have superpowers. So, I mean, also that we can get into a whole conversation about that, but catch that on Sundays. That's like for superhero Sunday school. But now, a story about this. My viewer, Alex, Donnie, thank you for that, though, by the way. I love this outfit, too. Raleigh, hello, everybody. So welcome to the comic book read as Supergirl 1985. Oh, no worries, right? That it's because we think all of these heroes are separate. They're really not, right? Even like goddess worship, there's like goddesses of many names. These things are not like in conflict with each other. Sometimes we love, like Supergirl, for example, right? I'm not everybody's version of Supergirl. There's many versions. There's that one that I didn't see in the Flash movie with Michael Keaton. And she had like short hair and she was very angry. And, oh, that brings me to, that's a great segue. Great segue. So, aren't they? I am Kryptonian tonight, so I'm supposed to be alien. I already told you guys a story about going through security to Vancouver with these contact lenses on. My friend was like, maybe it's your crazy contacts. Maybe that's why the TSA stopped you. But so this comic book comes from the library. My viewer, Alex, asked me, oh, Rachel, how many of your comic books are yours and how many come from the library? So it's kind of half and half. I think I own about 50 comic books or so, like myself, including the ones that are like series, like Crisis or Identity Crisis, where they're like multiple issues in one. And then I have like singles of things as well, of both DC and Marvel and Heavy Metal and Watchmen and all that kind of stuff, right? Oh, thank you. I love it. It's Mushroom Land and the movie Magic, the movie that we're in right now. That's what I want to welcome you guys to. It's fully made out of comic books. You're all invited too, right? So I'm working on bringing back true house parties, you know, like where like, I was telling my hubby, because I live in downtown Toronto, right? And ironically enough, Toronto is the birthplace of Joe Shuster, who is the illustrator behind Superman. So I owe him a lot, Supergirl. However, to clarify, Supergirl was not created by the same people that created Superman. She was kind of like an offshoot, kind of like how Nightwing was created by George Perez and Marv Wolfman, even though he was like Robin as well. Hold on, I gotta get to my window. Hey, Wolfie, stop it. Leave your foot alone. We have to put the sock back on. Oh no, here. please. Oh, good. That worked. I got this soothing spray called Sooth. So we're in downtown Toronto. So my doggy has very sensitive skin, and so we noticed that when there's certain rain or like chemicals in the ground and stuff, like we just have to like wipe his paws and like all that kind of stuff. So he's very sensitive, that kind of stuff. Oh, thank you, Smoke Signals. You guys, it's always so interesting how the divination of TikTok, like how we connect, how on this live I've connected with such cool people where, wow, we love the same things, and then somehow we like know the same things about reality too. Okay, let me bring it back. So my viewer Alex asked me how many of my comic books are mine, how many come from the library. So it depends. Some comic books like Doomsday, not Doomsday, yeah, Doomsday Clock, which is the crossover between Watchmen and, oh my gosh, the DC universe. That's a very expensive comic book. I'll have to save up for it. So I was actually doing my own little like nerdy comic book research because I'm in Toronto, and I found out that there's an actual reference library we have here on College Street that's for science fiction and fantasy, and they actually have Jeff Kirby's. You guys, I went down this whole rabbit hole about Jeff Kirby's Fourth World. And I was like, oh my gosh, the cosmology, the new gods. It was like, but then I got into this whole thing about the Legion of Superheroes. Now, the Legion of Superheroes is like, they're like a 30th century group of superheroes, which I found out that the X-Men took ideas from, because back in the day, hey Laura, how's it going, my friend? It's been a while. Welcome to the live. So I'm going to go right into this read and tell you guys quickly the divination behind this book. So you guys see this Sheikah right here? Right here. See her? Stargirl. So Stargirl, I didn't even really know about Stargirl. I did a show called the Truth, Beauty, Freedom, and Love Show, which I've rebranded as the Bohemian Revolution. So if you want to be a guest on that show, please let me know. Bohemian is all about, well, I love Freddie Mercury and Bohemian Rhapsody, but what is Bohemian? It's about living by the themes of truth, freedom, beauty, and love, and those are at the top front, not making lots of money, screwing people over. And also your art. Your life is a work of art, and like living from that perspective, as well as you're not really part of the status quo. You don't really follow all the societal norms. You don't really fit. And as I said, you want to belong. You're never meant to fit in. You're meant to shine and stand out like a star. And then like in a constellation, you're with all the other stars, shining the way you're supposed to shine. Because if you're shining like the other guy, I'm going to be like, dude, do you. I need you to do you so I can do me, right? Because it's kind of like that. So Supergirl resonates with me. I have gone to many reasons why, but when I was talking to my friend Dee Dee Starr, who is a burlesque dancer out in Palm Springs, but she's originally from Toronto. When I first moved to Toronto back in the day, I used to model a lot. I'm going to go back into modeling, I think, coming up with Halloween. Because I think cosplay and modeling, they kind of go hand in hand, don't they? But when I first moved out to Toronto, I did a lot of modeling. I have, let's see here, Justice League United. This is a Canadian comic book. Now, I did not know this when I picked this up. So I kind of like when I go to the library, I don't really know what I'm going to pick up. And so I've kind of moved into a new area. So I just picked this up. And the reason why I picked this up was because of Stargirl. Because my friend, Dee Dee, we're going to do some DC bombshell stuff. And because she's a burlesque dancer. And that's like old school pinup style, right? With music and show and all that kind of fun stuff. And she wanted to be Stargirl. And I was like, oh, cool. And I like looked it up a little bit. I'm like, I don't really know who that is. And so she actually has something called the Cosmic Staff, and she's in this version of the Justice League, which is actually like Canadian in nature. And when I first started reading this, like I saw, you see your Supergirl in the corner, so I'm like, oh cool, it's like a collab between me and Dee Dee. But the Supergirl's kind of bitchy in this story. I'm kind of like, oh, Oops. Like, why am I so mean? But you kind of see why. Like, and going back to someone talking about the different versions of, how should I put it? Like different versions of yourself that you have to let go of and versions that you are. Oh, I have a flash goal, you guys. Let's do it. Da-na-na-na. I hope you guys are doing well, though, because it's fall equinox. Well, I mean, it was yesterday, but what it means is that it's the start of a new season. And so if we think about, destiny and time and like this is your moment to take the chance and like let go of the old ways of doing things, right? Play the Marvel's music. I don't want to get copyright on this read, so let's just get into it. I picked this up because of this, but then when I started reading this, I got tripped out because it's got a lot of Canadiana in it. Like it features real places in Canada, which is kind of interesting for DC because I find that like Marvel will put its comic books in like New York City and in actual places in like real life, and DC has Metropolis and like Gotham. So it's interesting that a DC comic book has placed Canada as a setting in this comic book. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to start with like the Supergirl scenes where she's kind of bitchy, and then I'm going to go into like the more trippy part because it was the equinox, and then there's like a whole scene about like this new superhero named Equinox. And I was like, what the heck is going on, reality? Are you like fucking with me? Okay, where are we? Oh yes. Let's start with Supergirl. So we're gonna have big stony monster up, and then we'll go from it. Roar! It got teleported here with us. Okay, I blame you for this, Animal Man. Me? Adam Strange, you get down. John! Ugh, get off them, ugly. Ugh, and then they're attacking. He kind of looks like a golem. Oh, Bum Chicka Wow Wow. Hey, it's been a while. Aw, I will soak up all the love, you guys. There is no shortage of love in the universe. I think it's just like having that more mature version of it, right? You were on vacation. I hope went somewhere beautiful, and more importantly, that you're rested and you have wonderful memories to take with you forever. Okay. Aw. Sweet shit. Oh, I love that. Yes, divine love. I love that. Guatemala is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And Apex Zeus, great name. Yes. You know what? That's about sharing stories, right? Because all we have are words to share what your inner world looks like. So let's continue on with the read. Okay. Manhunter is still weak from telepathically connecting with that thing back on Earth, Adam. Help me get him clear. Animal Man, Stargirl, keep hitting it high. So you can see here, it's Connor, who is, I believe, Green Arrow's son. So, oh my gosh, Oliver Quinn's baby boy. I forget who the mom is. It's not Black Canary, though. Okay, roar, Animal Man, should I blast it again? So Stargirl has this cosmic staff. I'm not clear on how her powers work. We have to look into that a little bit further. We'll get to that later. And then Animal Man says, I'm not even familiar with Animal Man. Who's this guy? I think he can transform into, like, it was the Animorphs back in the day. So he can transform into any animal, I believe. That'd be kind of cool. And you can work with them, I think. If anyone else knows anything more about Animal Man, you let me know. I think he deserves a cosplay. All right. Animal Man, should I blast it again? No. At least it's in a form we can contain. And there are some crazy animals on this planet to draw power from. Let me take a crack at it. And then he does. That's a crazy animal. Crack. Roar. Oh, yeah, because he can change into whatever... I think they're on a separate planet. That's what's going on. So he's able to transform into whatever animal is, like, native to that planet. It's a cool power. I think you just pissed it off, man. Ugh. Watch your language, Stargirl. Okay, really? I don't know what to do. Stargirl, you've got some Animal Man away. You've got to get Animal Man away from that thing. It's crushing him. But if I hit it again, it could change. It could change to something worse. Then let me hit it. And guess who shows up? Dun dun dun. Supergirl. Yeah. Yay. Always in at the, the power behind things, right? Oh, Nathan, thanks for the follow, guys. Welcome to the read. We are reading Justice League United, which I would say it's a little bit more of a lighter read. It is me. I showed up. How meta is that, right? And so look at her styling in this. Do we like it? She's got kind of like a bob cut. Her hair is kind of up to here. I look good. Yeah. What do you think? This version. So it's me and my friend Dee Dee, hopefully, Stargirl and Supergirl in a collab. So I'll get her to get an outfit similar to this. So Supergirl shows up. Appreciate this writer writing her into this story, being part of the new Justice League in Canada. I don't know what that means, right? Wait, Supergirl? And then Stargirl says, there's a Supergirl? And Supergirl says snarkily back, my name is Kara. Who are you? I was halfway across the galaxy and I heard this thing call out. Oh, I'm Stargirl. I'm with the Justice League. At least, I think it's the Justice League. Animal Man and I were helping out this guy named Adam Strange. So Adam Strange, I know of Adam Strange from that show Krypton, where he's able to travel through time as a result of a zeta beam. So the whole mechanics behind how the zeta beam works is kind of unknown, but I know. See. Okay, so then Stargirl says, he's kind of cute actually, but kind of old. And he had I think she's talking about Adam here. He's kind of cute actually, but kind of old. And he has a girlfriend named Alana who's missing. And that's how this all started. So then we fought these lizards in armor and then found this bunker underground. And then this alien scientist attacked us with this thing. For some reason. My cosmic blasts make it change form, but it sucked up Martian Manhunter. It sucked Martian Manhunter up. It's a tongue twister. Oh, Wolf, are you listening? Good. It's listening. I love Stargirl's. I love that she has this whole synopsis for you. I didn't have to read you this first part of the comic book, right? We can just keep going with that. Good synopsis, Stargirl. Let's see here. This alien scientist attacked us with this thing for some reason. My cosmic blasts make it change form, but it sucked up Martian Manhunter. And I saved him. But then we all got teleported here. And then Supergirl's listening. She's like, okay, wait. Hold on. Just breathe. I'll deal with it. Just back off. And then so Supergirl's going to deal with it. And flies up. And Connor Green Arrow says, what the hell? And then some kind of containment field around us. Oh, she's trying to fly up, but then there's a force field there. Invisible force field. And then you can see that the golem guy is also contained in some weird bubble. And then this version of the Justice League looks onward. Green Arrow saying, relax, just let Super Teeny punch us out of here. Do not be alarmed. The stasis shells are merely a precaution. I'm wondering if it's a good guy. Let's see here. Let us out of here. Calm down. I will handle this, Supergirl. Our stasis shells are containing the rogue hybrid entity Sardath. As you hypothesized, it feeds on cosmic energy. By slowly reducing the stimulant, it's shrinking down to a manageable size. Excellent. Be sure to leave it just enough ambient energy to survive. Despite what it looks like, the poor thing is alive. Sardath, is it? Sardath, we were brought here against our will. Let us out immediately. Excuse me, but I am in charge here. This is Ran, my planet. And until I decide that you are not a threat, you will remain my prisoners. I pride myself on being civilized, Sardath, whenever possible. I prefer diplomacy. This is Martian Manhunter talking now. I find that Martians, they tend to be very polite. Oh, wonderful. Hello, welcome. It's a Martian. Put up your psi dampers. Keep him out of your mind. So Martians in DC Universe, they all have very strong psychic abilities. I'm going to skip ahead. So that's Supergirl joining the Justice League. And I'm going to show you her, like, kind of... Actually, she's going to show how powerful she really is here, too. And she never gets to show how, like, badass she is in live action. I feel like we need more. Oh, Voice of One! Joad Edicus. Are you encoding something in that new name? Perhaps. I'm all about it. So now you can see this new formation, like superhero formation, where like the whole team's there. Yeah, we're all here. So we're now at the Renanian Desert. Manhunter, Flash. It's all right, Stargirl. We seem to be back on Ran. We were transported. Or teleported. Transported, teleported, same kind of idea. Where's Adam? Adam Strange, they mean. And Hawkman. Boom. Supergirl. Can you see if it's Hawkman, Adam Strange, and Bith? Bith has the baby. We have to get... So look at this. Your kind of short haircut. Stargirl looking there. I like Stargirl's outfit, though. Does she have Superdog? Not with Superdog sleeping right now, resting. And then we have this really bright red crazy panel where she gets cheap shot from behind. What the heck? Not even fair. Supergirl. Ugh. Sorry, folks. Nothing personal, but I have a contract to fulfill. Lobo. Drop him. So Green Arrow shoots an arrow, and it shoots into his shoulder, and he says... An arrow, really, not just any arrow, pal. An explosive arrow. And it blows up while he goes, what? In his face. Lobo, I really hate you. Do you know that? Ugh. And then, so then she gives one big punch, and he's out of there. That's how it ends. Wow, nice punch, kid. Hey! What about my arrow? Meh. He'll be back, and he'll keep coming. I'm gonna go after him. Right now, we need to go after Hawkman and Adam Strange. That infant is a danger to itself and everyone else. We have to get it away from Bith. That is on our priority. Lobo can wait, Supergirl. The Ultra creature is immensely powerful. We need you, but the choice is yours, Supergirl. You can go after Lobo on your own, or you can join us. Be part of a team. And then something happens to Adam Strange's girlfriend here on this side. She changes into Adam Strange, and that's like the weird way that like teleportation and transformation happens, or not transformation. Well, transformation in some sort of ways. Kind of one and the same. So Hawkman dies here, which I'm going to show this panel as we cut ahead. Supergirl carries him out, and then we have this cool cover. What's that? I'm just flipping ahead because I'm getting to the part that has Ontario, Canada in it, because these are real places on the map. So I don't know if anyone can go all the way up north to where Hudson's Bay is, but hey, apparently there's Zeta Beam technology up there, according to this comic book. So let's continue. Game of Code. Hey, yeah. So wherever you are, I do believe that there's like that whole idea of like energy, or there are sacred spots and where these places in astrology, like no different than like how you have synergy between two people. You can have synergy between a person and a place as well. So here you have, how do I say this? Musoni. Yeah, it's like Moose, like Musoni, Ontario, Canada. The abandoned Zeta bunker of the Ultra Project. Adam thunk, okay, Now what? All right. Whoever's there, I have a ray gun, and I'm not afraid to use it. Crash. I don't want to hurt you, but I will. Please help me. What? Don't zap me. It's okay, sweetie. I won't hurt you. What happened here? It took her. Took her? I don't understand. Who? My friend. Miyabin. We came down here, thought we might see superheroes, and then it took her. What? What took her? A monster. And so we now cut back to, where is it? The planet Ran in the Polaris system, the science citadel of Ragnagar. Ranagar? I think so. Encyclopedia Galactica. This is an outrage. I blame you, Saradath, you and the rest of your damned Ranian eggheads. This experiment you are conducting was illegal and immoral. So you can see they're at some sort of like science citadel, like galactic science citadel, and they're giving these like the egghead guys shit, basically. Oh, yes, story time, Danny Money Man. Thank you for the heart me. Thorvis, please, if you'd only let me. No, we've heard enough, Sardath. Your actions broke the Polaris War Treaty, and now you've cost Thanagar, one of our greatest warriors. Kadar Hol, Hawkman's death, his blood is on Ran's hands. I'm going to shake my fist for extra emphasis. And then Thorvis, may I remind you that the real enemy here, the one who caused all of this death and chaos, was the terrorist known as Bith, a Thanagarian. Bith would never have been able to do any of this if you and the others hadn't started this depraved Ultra Project. So weird alien science project that we're doing up in northern Ontario, apparently. Sketchy. If you haven't started this depraved Ultra Project in the first place. And that thing, pointing at Martian Manhunter, should be destroyed. She's pointing behind Martian Manhunter because they saved something like a little like child from the Institute or whatever science project place that he was in. This is a child, not a thing, and he is under my protection. But if you and your war party want to try and take him, you are more than welcome to try. And then this guy look how sketchy he looks. He puts his hands over his like belly and says, "War party? I assure you, Martian, this is not a war party. If it were, you would know it. We've come here to take Qatar Hole, I guess that's his name, home." And then Green Arrow is like whispering to Animal Man and like in the back being like, should we do something? And Man says, I think Martian Manhunter's got it under control, Arrow. Best that we stay out of it. Did you know him well? Did you know him well, Hawkman? Honestly, no, not really. I never really had a chance. We were on the JLA together, but between the villain uprising and everything else. Yeah. And, hey man, I'm sorry about your son. I heard about that and thanks. And I'm sorry I gave you such a hard time. I'm used to working alone. This whole team thing is kind of new for me. Why are you looking at me like that? I think this is where we hug it out. And he like basically sighs, being like, oh my gosh, you're so cheesy. And then over here, this is where like Supergirl's kind of bitchy. We'll see. They're looking over, I guess, what's gone on so far in the story. And Stargirl says, so all of this is pretty crazy, huh, Supergirl? Supergirl looks back at her saying, what do you mean? Well, space battles, the Justice League, hybrid super weapons, aliens. And then, like, Supergirl's eyes. She's like, I'm an alien. What are you saying? And Stargirl's like, oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't mean. And by the way, Stargirl, If you act like such a wide-eyed kid all of the time, that's how they're always going to treat you. You're in the Justice League. You should behave like it. I'm like, wow, Supergirl, you're a little harsh much. But like, I mean, in terms of like different versions of Supergirl, this one is a bit more, I guess, battle hardened, or hasn't really had the nicest interactions with even human beings. So she's kind of a reluctant hero in this. Okay, so I'm going to jump ahead to the new Supergirl, not to Supergirl, but to this. All right. So one of the newest girls from the Justice League who got taken away from that monster comes to see her grandmother because she's like, what the heck is going on? Why do I have superpowers? The Witigo, Mihaben, you know that's just a story. Kiwatin, no more stories, Gokum. I want the truth. So, it's happened. You look incredible, Mihaben, just like I knew you would. You knew all along, didn't you, that I could be like this? Yes. It's your destiny, Mihaben, your legacy. Gokum, I don't understand. It's hard to explain. It might be better if I show you. Say it with me, girl. But I don't. It will be okay, granddaughter. I promise. Say it with me. Kiwatin. And then they say their sacred word, and then they go teleporting into a different place, right? Portals, right? Granny, your clothes. Where are we? We've crossed over, Mihaben. Not quite home, but not quite in the spirit world either. This is where our power comes from. Our power. And this is pretty cool. So, yes, our power. We are the protectors of this land. Yes, we are the protectors of this land, Mihaben. Our land. We are the Midayos. We always have been. Since the beginning of all things, there has been good and there has been darkness. The 7 grandfathers have always guided us, Mihaben. You learned about them in school, as all of our children do. The 7 pillars of Cree life: love, humility, bravery, truth, respect, wisdom, and honesty. And it's with these 7 virtues that our grandfathers empower us to protect our people, all people. But there is another force at work, one that has slowly crept into our land and to this day tries to destroy us and our way of life. Dominion, control, aggression, deception, greed, selfishness, and fear. These dark pillars came to be embodied by a terrible force, the monster you have seen, the Witigo. It is our job to embody the 7 grandfathers and to use the power that they give us, the power of the land itself, to fight back against the Witigo, to keep our people and all people safe. And we've done that since the dawn of creation. We have kept the fire of our people burning no matter how dark it gets. But sometimes the darkness is too much. Sometimes it snuffs out the flame. Your father, Mihaben, your father was one of those whom the darkness infected. He became lost to us. He became the Witigo. But my dad, he died in a car crash. That thing isn't. It can't be him. I am sorry, Mihaben, but it is him. I told you that he died because you were too young to understand all of this. You weren't yet ready. It's very common when it comes to inheriting your superpowers, right? Or stepping into a legacy or a destiny about when the time is right. And so the truth will come when it's meant to be seen. And that's kind of very much themes of the fall equinox too, right? But now you are. You've been chosen to be the next protector. Your power comes from your home. It comes from the land. It's winter now, and so the ice and snow flow through you. But the powers will change with each season. And no matter where you go or wherever your new life takes you, you will always carry a little bit of your home with you. But I tried to stop the Wittigo, and it kept coming back, even with my power. You cannot destroy the Wittigo, but you can still stop it from hurting anyone else. But how? I'm scared, Granny. I don't want to ever see that horrible thing again. Fear is one of its powers, girl. You must combat it with bravery. You can't destroy it, but you can face it. You can drown the darkness of the Wittigo in your light. Keep it locked away so it cannot hurt anyone else. Oh, yes. Derek Moda. Someone's asking how my handsome hubby is. He's good. He says hi. He's also listening to this read, right? It's like bedtime read, right? It's a good story, right? Because this is the fall equinox. And I found that, like, you know, the stories that you need to hear and find you at the right time. I didn't expect this story in here because I was really like, picked this out because of Stargirl and Dee Dee. I was like, yes, of course I do. We do. Okay, let's continue on. Where are we here? So basically what ends up happening, she realizes that she comes from her family is like generational protectors and guardians from the land, right? That her ancestors since the beginning of time are there and they draw their power from the land. Her father, and this is true for many things where, like, when people fall into grief or despair or lower vibrational energies, you can get caught up and get possessed by like lower forces. So what she ends up doing is she faces her father, who has become this like demon Wittigo, and she doesn't fight him. She just stands there and basically says that, like, I'm your daughter and you like never hurt your daughter. And he becomes released. She basically this is kind of cool here, right? She's like, I have got you. So she pulls the darkness out of him with the light, and then she gets her father back. So there's a level of that. So see here. Let's see here. I've got you, Daddy. Mehabin, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Shh, it's okay, Daddy. I know you're better now. You don't need to be sorry. I know who I am now. I know what I am. I'm a Medeo, just a hero, just like you were, like you are. I have to go now, Mehabin. I know. Don't worry. I'm not alone anymore. And neither are you. He joins all the rest of the heroes, right? And then her friend here, who's Adam Strange's fiance, says, Mehabin, are you... I'm fine. I'm better than fine, actually. It's like all of the doubt and questions I've had of all my life suddenly make sense. Like I know who I am. That sounds super cheesy, right? Oh, no, not at all. In a weird way, I know exactly what you mean. A couple of weeks ago, I was a grad student at the U of T. How weird is that, right? Adam Strange's fiance was a grad student at the University of Toronto. Okay. And now I have a jetpack and a ray gun. Okay. But I feel like this is fate. Or maybe it was destiny for us to meet up here. To meet the Justice League. So are you saying that we're superheroes now? Well, I kind of want to be. How about you? Do you think we'll get to meet Wonder Woman? Maybe. Ever cool. And then the two friends fly off. I'm like, oh, I wish. I hope. That'd be wonderful. And then it kind of ends off here with this guy showing up from the Legion of Superheroes being like, I have to destroy that baby because he's a problem in the future, which is a common thing in, time travel jumping. And we can talk about the Zeta Beam when it comes to Supergirl as well, because she's very much involved with the Legion of Superheroes. And I've been doing my own little, research to map out the timelines of that. So that's coming up next about timeline jumping on Superhero Sunday School. So stay tuned for that, as well as what it means to kind of discern your astrology to your superpowers, right? Because I've used this analogy before. Oh, here, look at Stargirl's DC Bombshells version. See? That's who Dee Dee wants to be. And she's a Libra. And so happy Libra season, my friends. All the Libra birthdays are coming out, my beautiful friends. My other Venetians out there to Taurus. Let me show you the variant covers. It's so amazing how, for comic books for me, how many variant covers look so gorgeous. And I'm like, you're never going to see them unless you open up the comic book. Look at this one. Stargirl kind of has a little bit of my Miss Captain America vibe. She's supposed to be from California, which works out really well for Dee Dee since that, Right? Stargirl. Again, a little pinup. So this is kind of the inspo behind the upcoming photo shoot. Oh, really good. Okay. Where are we? This one? This is cute. Oh, love. So, the girl who ends up getting superpowers at the end, let me just read that here. Stargirl, Martian Manhunter, and Green Arrow are no longer members of the Justice League of America, but a mysterious disappearance at an archaeological dig leads the team to reunite in the freezing wilds of rural Canada. Joined by Animal Man, Supergirl, Hawkman, and Adam Strange, the new Justice League United will be called to defend not only America's northern neighbor, but also the alien planet of Ran. And from Canada's Moose Cree First Nation, 16-year-old Mihabin Martin will unlock an ancient power to become the brand new Canadian hero, Equinox. So how trippy is that? Because I did not read that till after I even got it from the library. It was just I always get books by their cover all the time. And then it always ends up being something, either a wonderful surprise or I'll be like, okay, that shows me. But you know what? I'm always open to giving certain things a chance, right? So giving certain stories a chance. That being said, you don't need to give everything a chance. So thank you for giving. Oh, yes, future, past. What is the past? Or what is the future in terms of if something has happened, it's always ever going to happen. So with that, thanks for joining me for the read of Justice League United. This one I'm going to have packaged up as a replay because it has a really nice story, I think, in there about, getting your power from the lands and invoking, your ancestry and just some truth behind that, no matter where you are born on this sacred planet. So thank you guys for joining me for the read. As per usual, remember, it takes true courage for you to be exactly you in the cosmic game of life. So make sure you show up as exactly you because the universe is counting on you. But no worries, I got your back. Until next time, bye.